characters. Aquaman, Superman, Batman, everybody is aware of. But, the introduction of Supergirl, which is really exciting. The Flash's villain, Gorilla Grodd.
Oh, wow.
Is also a lot of fun. He plays, different than you'd expect. And Atrocitus, who is kind of like, a big, red, angry version of Green Lantern.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, you can think of him as that way. Red Lantern. He's the opposite of Green Lantern in almost every way. But I guess we can go ahead and start the gameplay with them and give you an idea of this new system that we're introducing in Injustice 2. With Injustice, we always say, it's big battle of the gods, huge destruction, transitions, multiple arenas. It's awesome. And with the sequel, of course, we're going to add new characters, and expand on that whole thing. But the gear system, what we're calling the gear system, is really like the foundation of what is brand new, what we're bringing to the table, differentiated from Injustice, as well as differentiating it from other fighting games.
Wow, very cool. So, like with each match that you fight, you'll be grabbing gear, or how does that work?
Yeah, so like after a fight is done, you're going to acquire some gear, and the gear actually powers up your character. So every character in the game has thousands and thousands of boots, utility belts, cowls, capes, insignias, and when you finish playing the game, it's kind of like XP. You're getting a drops of gear.
Sure.
And you get to actually apply them to your character, and they power your character up in different ways. Defense, your strength, your abilities that you use in the with your special moves and your health meter, and you are in a constant process of leveling up.
So
yeah.
Now, does this carry on to like online also? Like, will I be able to face Superman versus my Superman, where it's decked out differently?
Yeah, and what you said is really key. It's like your Superman,
Right.
your Batman, your Aquaman against somebody else's, and it's all personalized, and it is you literally customizing, molding your version of these characters that go up against somebody else's.
I love that idea because you see so often, there's certain characters who will be more popular than others, and you see a lot of mirror matches. But now, like you said, like you can have your, maybe I'll focus on like more offense type gear, versus maybe Swifter's defense type, gear.
Exactly.
Sounds great.
You notice here there's this big transition. You can throw your opponent into a new arena where there's a whole new palette of objects that you can actually use in the fight. That was, something that really resonated with the last Injustice, and we really wanted to bring it over. And you look at these characters again, with Atrocitus. He's all about anger and hate and blood. So he has all these kind of blood moves. He can bring out the
and flying cats.
Yeah. His name is Dexstar, and he's actually also a Red Lantern in the DC lore.
Wow.
And so Atrocitus can bring him out, use him, and he actually aids in the battle of the fight. Yeah, it's exciting. And Gorilla Grodd is all about big kind of primal moves mixed in with telekinetic moves. He's blasting them down back into the street arena where.
I was just going to say, and here we see the environmental interaction again.
Yeah, busting through walls, bouncing off. You feel the power of like these attacks.
Oh yeah, and we always describe it as like the battle of the gods, And so Grodd here is his.
That's what I love seeing too. Just like these two brawlers beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah, the variety of characters in this game is actually going to be even wider than the last one. So here is what we were talking about in terms of the gear. Like when you finish a round, your characters are leveling up. You see the stats of their strength and all that. But then this gear that you're rewarded with, the Curse of Rage, his new arms for Atrocitus, and Grodd has these. You can also be awarded gear for other characters.
Yeah, I just noticed.
You want to level up your other characters. It kind of gives you an incentive to really build up the entire cast.
That is very cool.
That is all. I'm actually really, really excited about like the loot drop system and like looking at like, if I face off against a man, he's got like that awesome gauntlet. Like, what am I going to do? Like, counter that or whatever.
Exactly. Or when you go online and you see somebody wearing some crazy crown, you're like, where did you get that?
Exactly.
And so there's a lot of kind of like this big collection mechanic going on.
Oh man, when is this coming out? I'm sorry, I'm like jumping to that, but I just want to play.
No, of course.
Unfortunately, we got to wait until 2017.
Oh,
for it to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's going to be worth the wait. You know, like we were saying. You know, there's bigger roster of characters. This whole gear stuff is going to be so exciting, and just another great opportunity is with the first Injustice. There's always characters who didn't get in the roster.
Of course.
And a bunch of angry people that characters didn't get into the game. So a lot of it is satisfying those people, wanted to see Atrocitus, wanted to see Super.
Yeah, comic book fans in particular could be pretty vocal when they are not listening.
And it's a great thing. I'd rather have people passionate about it, even if passion.
That's a nice, polite way to put it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. People care, and these games, of course, they're fans of just Injustice itself. Like we were talking about earlier, the comic book Injustice has really taken off, and fans just love the setting, like the story that the first game brought.
Oh, it was fantastic. It was such a great kind of summary of the events leading up to the first game. That's what was so cool about it. He's really has anger issues.
Like you said, I love that idea that you guys come from the perspective that it's like the gods, like just these beings with like ultimate powers, just throwing down.
Exactly. It's kind of like thinking of you have these super powered beings all kind of assembled, and a story that kind of gives them a reason to want to beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah. So, are there any changes to like the combo system or like the mechanics? I'm sure you guys are still kind of tweaking that, of course.
Yeah, we're always refining it. We every game we really want to add nuances that not only can be appreciated by kind of casual guys, but the hardcore fighting game guys. We really are big fans of esports and everything, and we really want to have this game be a big part of it with tournaments and all that stuff. So there's a lot of really deep layers that we've added to the game for those players.
Love seeing the back and forth there, like even as you choose the characters.
Yeah, that's a big part.
Back, like in Mortal Kombat, you always have like these like awesome, very custom interactions between characters, and is that like
exactly? We were so happy with how that turned out. And these characters, they have a lot of them have relationships with each other, and they have stories famous stories. They make references to those stories. It's great. So you see a lot of nods to the to some of the comics you might have read, or or something you might have seen in other media. And it's great how you see those relationships. So they talk to each other before a fight, and it really kind of you'd be surprised how much it really adds a level of depth.
It really does.
Absolutely, staying true to like the original kind of like source material that has come before. Because these characters, these are like the forefathers of the whole superhero comic scene, and very cool that you guys have taken that into account as well. Kept it in the game.
Yeah, we're and the characters like the returning characters, Aquaman and Batman, Superman. What's cool is we've given them new moves and really kind of updated them. So like they're your favorite character. You love how they play. There's going to be some familiarity about it, but there's also other layers of stuff.
Yeah. Oh man.
Supergirl, Aquaman.
She's not messing around. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a transition into a train. I don't know if you guys have seen it on the right side. That is really cool because it's got you can actually the guy is actually like kind of spinning through the train here.
Oh, are we about to see it? Yeah.
There we go.
Oh,
that's great.
I love how it's Aquaman too. He's just getting knocked around.
Poor Aquaman.
Yeah, he's got this awesome super move that's. It's probably one of my favorite ones in the game right now. It's just kind of really, it's just so ridiculously over the top. Yeah. Considering his last one had this big shark, he really wanted to have something that kind of one-upped that whole thing.
Wow!
Is it, or
I think we're seeing it right now. Look at that! Oh, it's something like prehistoric.
It's not even over.
Wow!
Oh, sick.
Yeah, I just want to say, Supergirl, she actually deserved that. Like, she's been knocking him around a while.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh man, I'm probably most excited for the loot system. That sounds like so like amazing. Just keep me coming back. Looking forward to the end of every match.
Exactly. Like fighting games are really all about traditionally have been about here's the character that we made. You learn it, you master it, you get it. Now we're all about kind of giving the player more personalization into it.
All right, now it's on to the games. We've got Ed Boon here live. Ed, it's so exciting that you're here. Injustice 2 just announced last week. You had the big tournament this weekend, first gameplay trailer, and now you're here to show us some real gameplay. Ed, we were out in Chicago with you a few weeks ago. This game looks incredible. How's the reaction been so far?
It's been better than we can have expected. There's always this little bit of nerves that we have when we, kind of launch a game, kind of give birth to it. And the response has been tremendous, especially the gameplay that we just recently showed. And everybody's just, all the speculation, who's in the game, who people want to see in the game. It's just so much fun. We can't wait to show you a little more.
Well, let's take a look now at Injustice 2. You brought some brand new gameplay footage that we can check out, and this game looks incredible. One of the things when we were in Chicago that I thought was absolutely amazing was the super moves that you have. And you teased some of them in the trailer with, obviously, you got Batman and Superman and going at each other. But tell us, this game, let's talk about sort of the customizations. One of the things we were in Chicago you're talking a lot about is how everyone's going to have a different Batman or a different Superman, right?
Yeah.
Tell us how that works.
Yeah, fighting games are all about, the character that you're playing. And for the most part, when people play the character, it's the character that we made, and you basically learn it, you master it, you learn the nuances of it, but you don't really change what it does. And that's kind of what we're introducing with this game. We're really like saying, okay, here's a base version of Aquaman, here's a base version of Superman, Atrocitus, and that's your starting point. And then when you start acquiring gear, and that gear actually makes your character more powerful, and you're the one who chooses what it is that it's going to enhance as far as the part of the game. And as we can see before, our super moves were kind of like, we set such a high bar before. It's kind of like, so we're trying to really just supersede all of this one.
I love that that's all in engine, all this insanity.
Oh yeah.
Now I know at E3 here you're showing, I think it's 3 areas, 4 characters, or what can we expect?
We're going to see 6 characters.
6 characters.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, and 3 arenas. They're kind of like famous ones, Metropolis, Gotham City, and Atlantis. You might notice as you're seeing the gameplay here is, when you see Batman for the second time, he looks a little bit different. That's because that's a different Batman. When you see Grodd for the second time, it's a little bit different. Everybody's is going to look different, and that's what's so exciting about it, because they're going to actually have, the most personalized. The personalization is what we're really adding to this game, as far as making your version of Batman, your version of Superman, your version of Grodd, and just the outrageousness in it.
It looks insane. Well, Ed, thank you so much for stopping by to give us a little sneak peek here at Injustice 2.
Thanks for having us. We're so happy to be the first guest here
Of course,
on the show.
You deliver a pretty amazing game, so it's a great way to kick off E3. Ed,
thank you.
We'll see you on the show floor. We'll go head to head. All right.
Together with our hellish hate, we'll burn you all! That is your fate!
Above my weight.
What do you want, Grodd? your head on a plate.
They say that battle changes you. It makes you stronger. More ferocious. A monster in the night. Watching. Learning. Hunting. Each time I enter the pit, I emerge reborn. Put the devil on the other side, and I will show up. Evolved. Adapted. And prepared to fight.